Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet, and we are going to be casting game number 5 of the Grand Final Series of the HomeStory Cup number 7. Up the top left side of the map, we do have our blue Terran player TaeJa, and down the bottom right side of the map, we do have our red Zerg player Snute. And it seems like we can't cast a Grand Final Series of a major tournament without having a base race in there somewhere. We had it in the Dream Hack, and now we've got it in the HomeStory Cup, game number 4. A total base race. I think TaeJa had a slightly superior army, but Snute just dipped around him and just attacked TaeJa's base while TaeJa was going in to attack Snute's base, and Snute managed to get up enough defenses to whittle down TaeJa's forces to the point where Snute won the base race. And yeah, just why not? Congratulations to Snute for winning that game. And we're back to where we started pretty much. We're 2 games apiece. It's still anybody's game in this series. And if things go the way they've been going, then TaeJa is going to win this game because he's won all the odd games so far, and Snute has won all the even games. And this is game number 5, which is, of course, an odd number. So we will see exactly how this goes. Snute actually mixing it up here. We do have a 14 pull. He's not going hatch then pull, he's going for pull first. And it does look like TaeJa, man, proxy barracks. I'm going to say this is for Reapers, man, because I have seen this from another player. They get a proxy barracks out there, and then they get a barracks over here as well, and they start putting out Reapers from both sides. But yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be Reapers. I can't think of what else it would possibly be. There we go, there's a Reaper coming out. And there, here comes the expansion coming out now. And SCV moving out. Could this be a bunker? Bunker sort of harass. I'd be very, very interested if it was a bunker, but so far this guy is just doing a bit of a scout out here. Just going to see what is going on. And he doesn't see anything too crazy. He does see the hatchery after pull, so he knows that defensively Snute is going to be a little bit better. But he doesn't care. He's getting down the bunker anyway, and 6 lings coming out. And yeah, Snute having the pull down before the hatch is all over this attack right here, and there is no way that is going to work. TaeJa's just going to have to run for it. He's going to have to get this barracks back. And yeah, this cheesy sort of offense that he was going for, this bunker rush, is going to be quite well defended. He's actually circled around back to the barracks. I'm not sure if that was a good idea. He's showing the Zerg exactly where it is right now. But yes, the Zerg not really building any more offensive units. He's got 2 Reapers now, and he's hoping maybe to continue the bunker rush, but the Queen coming out now, the Queen should be able to fend off both of these guys. And there they go. They're both going to be going on. They whittled down the Queen's health quite badly, so if they manage to survive here, then yeah, they can regen the health, go in for the Queen again, maybe take it down if they continue the pressure. What do we got going on? We've got the command center. He hasn't lifted this gate up there, so the Ling's going to get a full scout off. And these guys still alive. He's still continuing to press the Reapers, so he's not done yet. But with 2 Queens down here now, I think maybe the Reapers will have to give up. Here, there we go. He's moving the barracks back into his main base. He's going to try and get a Queen, just manages to get it, but loses a Reaper in the process. And that's a pretty good trade. I mean, losing a Reaper, sniping a Queen is definitely worth it, I would say. And yeah, he's just going to continue to move back here. And extremely, extremely aggressive expansion by TaeJa. We saw this in game 3, I believe. He went for a fairly fast third base, not as fast as this, but fairly fast. In fact, I think it probably was as fast as this because his expansion is actually delayed in this game. So yeah, we will see if he can make this very early third work for him. He's going for pretty standard stuff. Starport, reactor on the factory. With his early expansion, I don't think he can manage to go for Hellbat drops this early. It's just going to be, yeah, not going to be enough to be able to do that. And Roach Warren coming down for Snute, so I think this is still pretty standard from him. I don't know if he's got a Baneling there, no. I think he probably gets that in another couple of minutes, because he doesn't go for Banelings until he really, really feels like he needs them, until he goes out there and sees, alright, this guy's going triple M. It does look like we're going to see some Banshee tech on the way though. We saw that one game, but yeah, it's good versus annoying roaches and stuff like that. But it's more damage over time, like over the space of 5 minutes the Banshee will do a good amount of stuff. It's not the unit you can go in there with a couple of them and just wipe out the Zerg player, like really hit them hard. It's just more a, over time, if you keep them alive, then they will pay for themselves, but definitely not really really straight up early time. And he's actually building an extractor here. I don't know why he's doing that, but it is going to have to be cancelled. I guess that drone was just trying to save itself. Going to go for a hatchery, but instead went for an extractor because he did not want that drone to die. So there we go, drone managing to save itself, and the Banshee is coming out and he will get a good snipe off. And meanwhile the first couple of roaches coming out, and the Hellions are going to have to make a run for it. I don't think 3 Hellions can even beat 2 roaches. The roaches are just such a good counter for Hellions. And yeah, what is going to be going on? This Overlord getting a very free scout. And this Marine not really giving a shit. He wants to get into the bunker more than he wants to destroy that Overlord. Just gonna, just at the very last second gets that up. And the Banshee is going to be turning the tide, because wasn't for this Banshee, I think that TaeJa would be in a lot of trouble. He's just going to be able to get this up, but he is going to start taking some worker damage here. And he's going to buy himself enough time though for these roaches to get taken out. I think this building will eventually go down, but no, he just manages to save it. And meanwhile, Hellions pushing in here with that last Reaper, doing a great amount of harassment. And yeah, Snute does not do something about this. He will lose this hatchery. He might cancel it at the last second, but I don't really think he wants to. There we go, he lets it go up, and now he really wants to save it. But at the same time, TaeJa really wants to take it down. But with 2 roaches coming out, it might be enough to push away these Hellions. Maybe, I don't know. There's still a fairly large amount of Hellions going on. Meanwhile, this one Viking is still going around, still wiping out some stuff. I don't know if this is a new Viking or if it's the same Viking. I may be thinking of a previous game, because the strategies are quite similar between games. They're always going for the same sort of builds. And Snute, it looks like he's going for the build that won in the previous game, going for a Muta-Ling combination. And look at this guy, man. He's going for drones all over the place. An Overseer coming out, but this guy does not have Cloak, I'm pretty sure. No, he does not. And yeah, so he's going to get wiped out. And both players going for their upgrades. TaeJa being a little bit better on the upgrades than he was last game, but still doing a great job. And here comes the roaches coming out, so scaring away those Hellions, so they're not going to be able to do much. And he's got the command center somewhere. There he is. He's moving it over. But Snute very smartly is going to be blocking this again from going down, and he's got his own 4th. So yeah, Snute definitely going for economic superiority once again. And a medevac going to do a quick run by, going to go into this base, do quite a bit of damage. I don't think he's got any Marauders. Oh, he's got 2 Marauders. So that Queen is going to get wiped out. This Overlord staying there to the very last second. Does not want to move. And meanwhile, the Mutas have started to get out. So yes, not going to be good. He's actually choosing to drop out here, quite far away. And bloody oath, man, this guy is expanding like there's no tomorrow. The Terran hasn't even got his 3rd down, but the Zerg is getting his 5th down right now. There we go, the Queen gets sniped, but with this extremely large amount of mutas coming out, I mean, TaeJa is definitely on the back foot at the moment. He needs to go out, he needs to start hitting this base and this base. With mutas out on the field, he's going to be forced to take a very defensive sort of stance. And he does not want to be in a defensive place at the moment. He wants to be in a defensive place. He wants to be hitting those hatcheries, which Snute is just flagrantly popping down hatcheries everywhere. It's almost taunting TaeJa to come out and hit those hatcheries with the sheer amount he's putting down. But TaeJa, man, with the Hydras out, with the mutas out there, he cannot afford to just run willy-nilly around the base doing drops. He can try, but it's going to be very hard. And look at the massive amount of banelings coming out. I do not know if he's got baneling speed. No, he doesn't. So off creep, the Marines should be able to stim and run around them, but he doesn't even have shields yet, so it's going to be quite a bit hard for him to actually deal with these guys. Although he does have a couple of tanks out, the banelings don't care. They're just going straight in, and the mutas are going to be cleaning up all these forces. This amount of mutas, absolutely nuts. And yeah, really pushing in, really doing a great job. And TaeJa, man, has just been completely out macroed at this point. I mean, he's got the Marines out. He's going to be doing a great job versus the Mutas, but I mean, 143 versus 89 with no super major engagements at this point. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Snute's just economy is just blowing through the roof. He's expanding faster than any other Masters level player I've ever seen. And TaeJa is not punishing him for it. He's constantly trucked back in his base by all of these mutas. And, oh, that Widow Mine was quite nasty, but he's got him a little bit spaced out, so he didn't take that much splash damage. And meanwhile, the Marine numbers just getting wiped out constantly by the Lings, leaving him with not enough Marines to really hit the mutas as he would like to do. And yeah, this muta army is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they've got one weapons, but one, I don't think they've got flyer armor on the way. It's just Ling upgrades mainly going on. And he's starting to get a bit of defense here. The Widow Mines are definitely helping. Here's another Widow Mine about to go off. He hits the Lings instead of the mutas, man. If he had microed that Widow Mine, he could have done quite a bit of damage to those mutalisks. But yes, the only thing that's really stopping these mutas is the bunkers full of Marines, because it's going to take them way too long to wipe down a bunker. And TaeJa, very smart, getting bunkers and missile turrets everywhere. So he knows the sort of threat that he's heading off against. And TaeJa is just trying to stay in this game, trying to get his third base to stay alive. And meanwhile, the Zerg player going for the fourth and fifth base. He's got him up, he's got him mining, and his income is completely off the wall, man. So I think TaeJa is in a lot of trouble here. Snute, we've seen him have an economic lead before, but we haven't seen him push with that economic lead as hard as he is now. And yeah, really doing a fantastic job. Every single time the Marines try and counter the mutas, you just get Banelings in their faces all over the place. And this group might be able to do quite a bit of damage. And then, yeah, actually this muta's got to watch out, because they can take quite a huge amount of damage there. But the Marines constantly getting attacked by Lings down the bottom. And yeah, not good. Actually, the Zerg player needs to get an overseer here, man, because the amount of Widow Mines lying around the place is starting to get quite scary. And what's this Widow Mine going to do? Oh, that was a massive hit. All those mutas went down to half health. And he cannot have ignored that Widow Mine hit if he saw it, man. He's got to get an overseer out there, because a few more like that and the Terran player will be back in the game and able to move out and do stuff. He's trying to move out now, but I don't think he's going to do too much. The Zerg player's still got a massive army. Although, have a look at the upgrades. These are 1-1, and these guys, I think, are 2-2. Sorry, the mutas were 1-0. These guys, the Marines, they're 2-2 as well. So by sticking with mainly Marine sort of stuff, he's going to be fine. The Widow Mines, I don't think they have... do they have attack? No, they've just got armor. So yeah, the Terran player, he's actually going to try and get a fourth, but the Zerg is not going to let that happen. He's going to go for the command center. The Terran player is going to intercept him. He's going to plant down the Widow Mine. Should be able to scare these forces away, but it depends on the Baneling hits. Widow Mine's coming down, getting a couple of nice hits. And the Terran player managing to wipe out the Banelings with losing minimal Marines. And yeah, he's going to try and push back. But here another force of Banelings coming in. But this wall around here doing a great job. However, he goes straight through the bunker. The SCV is all going to try and get away, but the Banelings are going to keep chasing him. And man, oh man, I gotta say that's probably the end of the game for TaeJa, man. His economy has just gone completely down the toilet with those Baneling hits. And it doesn't matter how good his army is right now, he cannot compete with the massive economic lead that Snute has. He's just, yeah, just that one attack from the Banelings really hitting it home. He's going to try and do something here. He might be able to get the upgrade advantage in a little while. And he's doing a great job with harassing left, right and centre. But I don't know that any Terran can really do that much damage that those Banelings did. Maybe with the Hellbat drop, you could just wipe them all out. And yeah, the second this went down, man, look at all the Banelings coming in, going for the Marines. He's trying to get a split, but there's more Banelings than there are Marines, and most of them are just going to get completely wiped out. How do you defend against this many Banelings? It's completely impossible. Some reinforcements going to get out there though, and there's just Lings left. So they might have been able to press something, but yeah, just too much, and that base being denied. It's just TaeJa just saying, what the hell do I do with this massive economy, the Zerg player has got, and he's just able to build a crap load of units. Let's have a look. He had 10 Marines at the end, and Snute had 18 mutas, so, and just as many lings as he could pump out. He just had an awesome amount. And TaeJa really on the back foot, man. He's lost 2 games in a row right now, and if Snute wins game number 6, then Snute is going to win the entire championship. So hopefully TaeJa gets back in there and finds an answer for this muta-ling combination. He did have an answer the previous games with the Marine tank, but it's getting a little bit harder to get the Marine tank. He didn't really go for tanks too much this game. He just mainly went for Marines, which is not surprising because there was just such a massive amount of mutas. But yeah, the Baneling started coming out in full force, and by then he's like, oh crap, I actually need some tanks, and he just didn't have them. And great job there by Snute for pushing in, and TaeJa really needs to do what he did in game 1, which was constantly changing his army composition to suit whatever Snute was doing. He did a really good job then. Not so much of a good job here. He really should have transitioned to tanks a bit earlier. And yeah, good job to Snute for just whacking this home, keeping the pressure on the expansions, and just his own flagrant expansion there, just rubbing it in the Terran's face almost. And the Terran couldn't really do much about it. He was too far back against the wall from all of the harassment that Snute was giving. So yeah, great play by Snute, and he'll be looking to take out the next game and win 4-2 in this series. But of course, TaeJa will be looking to get another back and take it to a final ace match in a best of 7 series, which I would absolutely love to see. But we will find out what's going to happen in game number 6. Will Snute win it 4-2, or will TaeJa push back to have a 3-3 tie-off going into an ace match? We will find out, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet.